broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I'm Jen Godet, your fearless host, entrepreneur, investor, and business strategist. Why are we here? Because I believe that iron sharpens iron. And when we come together with experts and other entrepreneurs to share what's working in business and even some of what's not, what we are able to do is learn and grow. As a result, our businesses flourish, and the ripple effect impacts not only ourselves, our families, our teams, and their families, but also our communities and our world. I am really excited to be here with you today. I have a very special guest who's going to drill down into all the things that we talk about fairly regularly here, but with actionable items. Stephanie Shorr is an optimal health coach. She is an expert in this space. She's an expert in allowing us to become peak human performers so that we can absolutely be the best that we can be to lead our companies and to grow. Steph, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. This is exciting. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. I've been trying to coordinate our schedules for quite some time because one of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is we're investors and entrepreneurs. Time management is a huge struggle for us. You are that. You're an entrepreneur, you're an investor, you're a mover and a shaker. You speak all over the world. How do you manage your time in a way that you're able to continue growing your business?
I would say I'm 72 and a half years old right now. And what I found is that you have to make sure your health is in control. You have to spend time focusing on what you're doing. What are your habits? Are you feeling good? Do you have any issues? And I would start with sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, sleep is kind of a foundation. You can start there and try to increase the amount of sleep. Sleep is when your body repairs. And another thing is to stop eating 3 hours before you go to sleep so your body isn't confused and has to do with digestion while it should be repairing your cells. And exercise is hugely important. If you're not moving, I know I have clients who sit in front of a laptop for 16 hours a day. Our bodies are not designed for that. So if you're a sedentary person, I would say at least several minutes in every hour, get up and move around. And if you can't, at least get up on your toe under your desk, and bring your leg up and down. And even that is kind of pumping your blood. Our circulation is so important. I can go on for this entire session, but I mean,
so what I'm hearing is
there's
you're
several
able
components.
to manage
Nutrition
your time.
is huge as well. Any one of these you want to talk about, I can go on for days.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm hearing is your time management is really energy management, and how you do that is you start with your foundation of sleep and you add movement on top of it so that you're energized. So let me ask you, let's start with sleep, okay? Sleep hygiene. You talked about stopping eating 3 hours before going to bed so that you can optimally restore during sleep. What are some other sleep hygiene habits? Because one of the things that entrepreneurs inquire a lot about, I get emails all the time from the show, and they're like, I can't turn my brain off when I go to bed. How do you manage that? Or what do you recommend for those who can't stop thinking enough to get themselves wound down for bed?
I'm really glad you said that because I'm actually having that issue right now, because I'll get so excited about something. I want to finish it before I go to sleep. And then all of a sudden it's 11 and maybe I have a 8 a.m. meeting, but I'm on the West Coast and that's 5 a.m. So now I'm already in trouble with the amount of sleep that I want. I would recommend meditation, and a really simple meditation is just, if you've never meditated before, is to just breathe in and count to 4, hold it for maybe 2, and then exhale for 4. And while you're doing that, and all these thoughts are crowding into your mind, try to let them just float out the other side. Just say, I'll deal with that later. And finally, you'll reach a place where your mind is a little more clear. And I'll fall asleep if I'm in that state of just breathing and trying to focus on not nothingness, but just kind of like a calm state and not letting all the details of our lives. We're so busy. Our personal universes are so full. And it's really amazing to me. I mean, we're in a position in the history of time where we can do so many things. We can get so much information. We can be involved in so much. It's kind of overwhelming. And we need to stop, take a breath and calm down and let the body kind of like when you charge your phone or you recharge anything. And also, I think, I'm very involved in energy medicine now, and I have something called a beamer. And the beamer, excuse me, is pulsed electromagnetic field. And that's also something that's very relaxing. It's a mat, and it delivers a very low intensity charge to every cell in your body, giving it more oxygen, which produces more ATP. That's another, I actually use that every night, and I usually fall asleep for the 8 minutes, an 8-minute treatment morning and night, and it's very relaxing. So you can do meditation, you can do the high tech and things like Beamer. There's so much available to us.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. I actually have a beamer too. I've been beaming for a couple years now, and it has been
Like the verb.
yeah, it's critical. I travel with it because I don't sleep well the first night anywhere. If I'm like at a conference or whatnot, that first night in a hotel, I'm hearing all the things that's not natural. But that beamer definitely does help me with the relaxation. And I just want to kind of review like what Steph was saying about meditation. Really, it could just be deep breathing, but when you're counting the breaths and you're counting your inhale and you're counting your exhale, what happens is all those other things in our head kind of get pushed out because we're focused on the counting. And over time, your body is able to relax. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that because you said it. And I think you brought a whole lot of things to bear. But if you're watching this and you're like that entrepreneur or that executive that can't turn your brain off, the easiest thing to do is to count your inhales, your hold, and your exhales and bring yourself down and be present, because that helps us to kind of, I call it, I close out the browsers of my brain when I do that. Like
That's good.
I'm not even playing. I'll have 56 browsers open on my laptop at any given time because I'm always researching things and doing a bazillion things. And I have to close them all out and shut my computer down. So it's no different with our brains, our own brains. We have to kind of close out the browsers, and that focused breathing is so critical. I actually do it while I'm on the beamer, and then like I literally just roll over and pass out.
Exactly. I often fall asleep on it. Luckily, it turns itself off.
Yep. Thank goodness for small favors. So now that we've talked about,
And I found the Beamer also, it actually delivers a lot more oxygen to the blood, and it enables the cell to do its job and heal. And it does a lot of healing in the body after it enables the cells to do things for the body, is what I'm saying. It improves your circulation, especially in your microcapillaries, where 75% of our blood is, something I never knew till recently. And it doesn't move as well as the rest of the blood in the body sometimes. So that's another way of, I think, getting optimal health is to give your circulation is your river in your body, and everything really needs to flow.
yeah, absolutely. And something else that really comes to me very strongly, because before we talk sleep, we were talking about movement, that microcirculation is incredibly important. And when we're sitting at a desk all day long, something that we could be doing is just pumping our ankles, pumping our heels and our toes so that circulation continues throughout the day. But let's talk about that now. So we have a foundation of sleep. We're getting enough sleep. What is enough sleep, Steph?
Everyone's different. For most, it's 8 hours. I know, I see how you feel. When I have 8 hours of sleep, or 9, which is a huge gift, I feel amazing. If I have 6, I feel okay by the time I have my coffee. I'm fine. Less than 6, I'm struggling a little, but I still get through the day. If I stay up all night, which is very rare these days, I used to be able to do it in my 20s a whole lot better than I can now. It seems to be a bigger cost now, but your body will let you know. If you listen to your body, it tells you pretty quickly if you're doing what it needs. And I think that's part of the thing is we were never really taught to respond to the needs of our body, like our microbiome, these trillions of organisms in our gut, that if we feed them what they want and we give them a hospitable environment, we'll stay pretty healthy. But if we trash them and eat highly processed foods all the time and too much sugar and not enough sleep and not enough hydration, everything, we suffer, and the outcomes over time as we get older will pay for it. So it's really amazing how much of it is up to us.
Yeah, absolutely, Steph. And like when we're sleeping, that helps us restore. And so if we're waking up, I always like, just to kind of give an idea to our viewers, like when I know I've gotten the right amount of sleep, when I wake up and I'm energized and I'm ready to hit the ground running, that means I got good amount of sleep, like quantity, and good quality of sleep. So like that's kind of my golden standard. And you're right, we're not taught to listen to our body, so we're just kind of guessing all the time. But if you're struggling with that piece, that's the first piece. Steph says, get your sleep in order. Stop eating 3 hours before bed. Do some deep breathing before bed to kind of break it down. If you're a high-tech person and you're interested in Beamer, we can talk about that later on and how you can get more information on that. So once our sleep is in order, Steph, what's the next thing to focus on?
And I would say this is kind of even almost with the sleep is hydration. A lot of people, when they look at how much water they're drinking, it's not really enough for their bodies. And most people do best with, if you take your body weight, say 150 pounds, you take half of that, and that's how many ounces of water for most people is a good amount. And again, everyone's different. You have to kind of find your way. Our health quests are very bio-individual. But for most people, 75 ounces of water, and I'm not going to do the math in my head right now because I'm sure I might mess it up, but I find I try to drink at least 3 quarts of water a day, something like that. And not with food either, because especially if you're a little older, you're diluting your digestive juices and enzymes. So you want to drink more between meals or before meals or after, maybe an hour after, and just maybe sip during meals so you don't dilute the digestive juices.
Yeah, that's so
So I would say
fascinating.
that's next. So, and then nutrition. When I owned a gym for 12 years, I thought exercise was 60% of what your health was, or 70%. And the trainer that was my partner said, no, you're totally wrong. It's what you eat is 90%. And honestly, I guess he's right, because in your 20s, when you're kind of in that immortal phase, nature wants you to reproduce. You can get away with a lot of dietary debacles. Over time, it doesn't work out as well. I think that you have to be more careful and considerate of what you're putting in your body. So I would say hydration is hugely important, and diet. I think everything, they're kind of like pillars of health. You want to kind of have all of them something you're conscious of. You don't want to become obsessed with it. It's kind of easy to get preoccupied with it. So my mantra is you do the best you can. You don't want to be, I've become in my past obsessive with where I ate or what I ate. And it's not fun for yourself or the people around you. So honestly, we have so many choices. Again, in history, no one has ever had this much food around them, I don't think. Maybe the ancient Romans did. But here we are. And the choices we have a lot of times are not in our best interest. So that's what we have to do. We have to get educated. We need to read labels. I can go into details on that if you want to. But it's important what we're putting in our bodies.
Absolutely. We do have to take a brief break, but we will be right back after these messages.